Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's, what is this? TRI's Crypto Top 100 review. Running a little late here tonight. Not totally with it this evening, but let's see. My show co-hosts, Ben and Paul, arrived with bells on. So, I'm sure they'll probably make up for any shortcomings of mine here. Let's see how they're doing. Paul, are you here this morning? I guess this morning for him in Romania.
Yeah, good morning. I'm here.
There he is. All right. And Ben, are you here? Hello, Ben.
Hello.
Hey, there's Ben.
Good evening.
All right. So here we are. It is Wednesday, the 8th of February. So marching through this 2023. What a nightmare world we're living in right now. I suppose hearts go out to all those people in Turkey and Syria. Wow, total disaster there. And of course, probably say a word of, hopefully, a word of peace or something for the Middle East. Or, ironically enough, not the Middle East, Eastern Europe. Gee, it's too bad they're still fighting in Eastern Europe. But anyway, crypto just keeps marching on. Actually, I suppose we probably should pop over to our crypto page. Funny market that we're in right now, that's for certain. You'd see the broader market's actually trying to turn back up here. Although the S&P 500 looks very waffly. Kind of like dead cat bouncy, I think is probably the best term for it. And our crypto top 30 breadth indicator, it's flashing, wanting to break back bullish. We got another one of these sort of kisses of the moving average. And interestingly enough, our this is was an old commodities broker for many years. And this is how I would trade the commodities markets using weekly data. These are all weekly data points. And actually, I even put out a tweet recently to this effect. Quite surprising. Bitcoin and Ethereum trying to turn the corner. That tweet that I put out, let's see where the heck that is. On the weekly chart. Quite remarkable. So this weekly commodity trend survey, this is a really handy way to just sort of give an over 6,000 foot view of the market. And 6,000, 10,000, 30,000, whatever. And you don't often see sixes. Six in itself is a very rare situation. What it means is the market has fallen an awfully long way. So far that the 50% rule, or sort of whatever the 50% of the most recent trading range. Now keep in mind, this works off a 52-week basis. So just the 1 year 50% rule. So if we, now we're into January, February, so we'd probably be using this high specifically for this study. But the market has fallen so far that the 50% rule is a million miles away from current price. I mean, that's if the 50% level is pretty close. Like notice, actually, if we look at that page, notice Litecoin, for instance. Where the hell's Litecoin on here? There he is. He's actually now flashing a 3 because, as you can see, 50% rule. Sitting $92, and current price right now is actually 100. So it's actually gotten to its 50% roll. And I was barking for quite some time there over the past few months about how attractive Litecoin has been. But Litecoin's already come and gone. That trade's come and gone now. And as you can see, Litecoin's moved up a hell of a lot. So here we are. Now we've got Bitcoin. We've got Ethereum. Interesting. I did pick up some Cripple. Cripple's a funny one. Obviously there are battles with the SEC and are they security and all that kind of stuff. Still humming and hawing. Also notice BCH, good old Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin Cash, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it? Is that Roger Ver's Bitcoin? BCH. Whatever happened to what the hell was that guy's name? Remember faked Satoshi and Vitalik stood up at a conference and was, "You're not Satoshi, shut the hell up," which is so funny. God, that was about 5.
Craig Wright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was Australian, right?
Yeah, what the hell was that guy's name? Craig Wright.
Craig Wright.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Craig Wright. Yeah.
Craig Wright, yeah. I have to check it out because there was a lawsuit going on, I think even here in Florida, about the original wallet.
Yeah.
Who it belonged to.
I remember years ago, people said the only reason why he made that claim was because of that lawsuit and because there was some huge tax implication or something.
Okay.
Anyway, was that BCH or is BCH Roger Ver's Bitcoin?
I think he was one of the BCH. Like there was BC, there was like the two versions.
Yeah, there was like Satoshi's Vision. Remember that BSV and stuff.
Yeah,
Anyway.
BCH would have been Roger Ver. Yeah.
All right, so that's Roger, and Roger's been really, really quiet of late. We haven't really seen him too much in the social scene.
It's been a while.
But anyway, interesting to see BCH is also flashing a 6. So this is pretty rare. And if anything, this is the one reason why I absolutely love this this weekly commodity trend survey. You're not going to see these things flash 6 very often. You know, the window is very quick, and you know, if this thing rallies up appreciably, of course, as time goes by, that 50% level is going to move down, like you saw with Litecoin. So on top of the market being substantially lower than the 50% rule, I'm a really big fan of this. Happens to be a very particular moving average relationship, the 13 exponential moving average and the 30 simple moving average on the weekly basis. And whenever they cross, of course, we had a bearish cross there, about a year ago. And you can see the end result of that. It was just absolute destruction. So fascinating that we're actually getting crosses back to the upside as well. I don't know whether I really like this as a trade level. And, you know, I think Paul has even been sort of commenting that maybe not the best place to step in on the long side. But nonetheless, I suppose we'll get his take on what he sees in the market here fairly shortly. But this is a unique situation, and actually, I think a lot of what's going on here has everything to do with Shanghai. I think that's what they call it. The Ethereum. Would you call it an upgrade? You're a big fan of Ethereum, eh, Ben? What do you think? Would you call it an upgrade?
Yeah, honestly, I haven't been following this. Yeah,
No?
this upgrade too closely, but.
Ben, do you even watch any of this stuff? Or Ben, I beg your pardon, Paul?
No.
There's a nice simple answer.
I'm just a trader.
Fair enough. So point being, and actually interesting enough, this Ethereum chart looks a hell of a lot better, to be honest with you, than the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin did make a lower low, which technically in itself is bearish. At best, maybe we're carving out like a head and shoulders pattern here. And this low here will represent some sort of, I guess, right shoulder down the road. But Ethereum actually does have a solid double bottom working here. And then probably one of my favorite trade setups is hopefully you can, maybe use your imagination a little bit. But hopefully you can see the triangle here. And when you get cute little W's down at the bottoms of these triangles, because you could make an argument this is a reload zone down against these lows here. That is such a killer trade setup level. So, and considering that the fundamental drivers, there isn't really anything fundamentally happening with Bitcoin right now, but there is something pretty big fundamentally that's coming down the pike. And actually, might even be a good idea. Maybe either one of you, Ben, or I suppose, Paul, you have your trading community. If there's anybody who happens to be an Ethereum sort of, hey, I'm pretty good at this stuff. I think I know what what's going on. Maybe we should have him on the show and tell us a little bit about the fundamental story and what dates and events we should be watching for. So anyway, I thought that was interesting and such a great testament. I love this dashboard that we've built. It's such a cool tool, and it's really helps frame expectations and then frame behavior. So I suppose we'll have a wild, well, not wild, but a report from Paul with his weekly newsletter showing us what he and his community are following and watching for. And I'd love to also hear what Ben's impression of all this recent price action is. So it should be an action-packed episode for you here tonight. Suppose the first thing we should probably do is let's check in on predictions. I always say it's probably not a good idea for us to get into the prediction business. And I'm horrible at making predictions. But let's see how we did here in this past week. I don't even know what the price has done here. There's the, I guess that's the 1st of February. 23,950 was our last quote as of last Wednesday. And where are we now? We are 22,922. So we'll call it maybe 22,900. Does that sound agreeable?
Yep.
All right. So 22,900. What the hell does that represent? This updates on its own, doesn't it? If I go like this, it'll work. Hey, there we go. Ooh, down 4%.
Yeah.
Is that how much that was?
Huh. Yep.
So, look at you cocksuckers. Both of you guys got it right. Way to go. Jesus, you guys are on fire. Good for you. Good old Brian just sitting neutral. Not really. I'm sort of like, okay, where the hell are we going to go? I want to, interestingly, so, first and foremost, congratulations to both of you. Both of you actually chose the same, and I remember when you did that last week, you were kind of like, oh, that's not a good sign. But it turns out you were both right. Jesus, firing on all cylinders. How do we split? Isn't the prize to win a hooker? So how are we going to split a hooker between the two of you?
Oh, no. Thank you.
No. What are you talking about?
Oh, no.
He's going to get us in trouble. Probably the wife is standing right beside him. What? What did he say?
At this hour, no. It's too early.
4:00 in the morning?
Yep.
Come on. What's 4 o'clock in the morning between friends? All right. So what is that? That's $1,050, eh? Wow. Well, there you go. And actually, it's interesting. This is quite abnormal for Paul. So
Yep.
That's a bit surprising, but way to go. You were right. So nice call. And Ben actually is on like a hot streak now, 2 weeks in a row. So we're gonna have to all subscribe to Ben's advisory service. Looks like he's on the ball. For whatever it's worth, before we jump into Paul's presentation, there's sort of the backdrop, the bigger picture. I guess right now I'm a little bit sort of torn. I feel like we're kind of caught in no man's land right here. Interestingly enough, all the talk out of things like Chair Powell's and stuff like that. I think we had his picture on here. I mean, I don't think he said this, but this is a little bit funny. This is typical crypto. But everything I hear out of his mouth is economy is really strong in the United States, and I've said that repeatedly. We are now in the U.S.'s this current greed cycle. So the United States of America and de facto everything's around the United States of America. Interesting enough, if just as long as substitute drama teachers don't totally sink our boat, Canada should do relatively well. And I suppose if cartels don't sink Mexico's boat, Mexico should do relatively well. And I thought it was kind of interesting now in the States as the immigrants are coming over the Texas border, they're actually shipping them straight to the Canadian border. So that's the American solution. You know what? You were just going to send you right on up to substitute drama teacher and let him deal with the problem. Which I thought was hilarious. But anyway, if you listen to Jerry, he's saying the economy is very strong in the United States of America. And I can tell you, I've been playing this game for 30 years, and it's been quite a while since I've seen a employment report that the U.S. generated 500,000 new jobs. Sort of out of the blue, too, because I think we're beyond this sort of COVID, sort of everybody got fired, and then all of a sudden everybody's hired right back kind of idea. I think we're beyond that environment. I think now the economy itself is kicking in, and I think the economy is juiced. Interestingly, the whole point is, of course, the Fed's been raising short-term interest rates of late, and there's an old expression in the market that just simply says, "Don't fight the Fed," and that just simply is, while they're raising interest rates, it means they're trying to pull liquidity out of the market. He's even said, I want to make your life a little bit more painful. So that means you might lose your job. Interest rates are going to be high. So that means the cost of borrowing is going to be challenging. So if you live in debt, life's going to get a little bit harder. That kind of stuff. It's fascinating. They're not allowed to use the word deflation. So now what you're hearing out of Jerry's voice is, out of his mouth is, oh, this is disinflationary. Okay. I get the impression that he will continue to keep raising rates until he sees something break in the economy. But my hunch is it's not going to be the United States. It's going to be something out of Europe, might be Central and South America. I doubt it, though. They're not really in the spotlight these days. Mind you, Brazil might tip over. It's pretty crazy down there. Probably more likely than anything else is probably going to be out of Europe or Asia. And of course, now you got Winnie the Pooh and his balloons. I mean, God, you can't write better fiction than reality. So, who knows how all this is all going to play out. But interestingly enough, Jerry said, I'm not lowering interest rates anytime soon. And I might even raise interest rates even more. So fascinating. We have this market state right now. I think we're in more of a seasonal bubble than anything else, which is dangerous because a lot of people, I see people scratching their heads on social media trying to figure out why crypto has done what it's done. But the irony of it all, and really probably Bitcoin's just one ingredient in it, but this is basically, it's a venture capital asset. And crypto itself is a venture capital asset. So probably the asset that we probably really want to be looking at is this total market cap. And I mean, you can see it's as plain as day. Literally January 1st, the whole damn crypto market just lifted like a boss. And interestingly enough, this is actually extremely normal for venture capital. In fact, probably if I put on, I don't think I can show you, but I'll try. Where would be a good place? I think over here. I think if I show you the venture cap stock market, like in Canada, for example. I mean, this is all to do with the commodities market, especially venture cap stock market. But this is also a weekly chart. But if we go down to the dailies and you see where is January 1st, and you see that basically the whole damn market is just lifted from January 1st, right? There is January 1st right there. So heading in, if you're taking notes, if you're trying to learn, like, why is this happening? This is so cliche. It's just, you go on social media and stuff and none of the public ever clues into this. But it's really simple. Into the end of the year, and this is the venture cap stock market, it's basically the same thing as crypto, there's a lot of incentive if you bought something, and let's say you bought Apple or Amazon or whatever, or Tesla, and you sold up top and you made a ton of money, you're gonna owe capital gains taxes. So into the end of the year, quite often what happens is, most venture cap ideas don't work. I get something like 70 or 80% of venture capital ideas just land flat on their face. So you get a lot of incentivized selling heading into the end of the year. That's very normal. And then almost kind of like the rubber band just gets stretched too far in one direction, it just snaps back up once all that selling pressure is done. And this is actually what they call the January effect. And there's no difference in crypto. It's the same darn thing. Same poop, just different pile. Where's that total? There it is. Same thing. Right at the end of December. Tax loss selling. And what's fascinating about this space, of course, is, heading into this part of the market, you ask anybody in the public what's the score with crypto, and they say, oh, it's going to zero. It's just like, you got to be kidding me. The writing was on the walls that something was going to happen. Now, this something that's pretty damn big. I mean, I have no bones about it. I mean, if you put it on a percentage basis, basically this market, let's put the zero line right at the end of the year, something like that. We're up a good 30 or 40% on the entire crypto market, and of course there are names. Oh God, we have one of Paul's buddies. I don't know. Is he an associate of yours? Do you know Julian? Is that how you pronounce his name?
It's a Romanian guy. It's
Romanian,
on TRI.
yeah. I mean, all you killer traders are Romanian.
It's on TRI and in the crypto traders arena. So.
Well, my question was, do you know him? Is he a friend of yours? Is he an associate?
No.
Yeah. Anyway, these Romanians just killing it every bloody day. Julian's, I mean, he just did what he was supposed to do. Come in, buy against the bottom end ranges, sell halves on doubles, and it's just beautiful watching him day in, day out, just killing it.
Yep.
But the point here is, that the index itself is up 30 some odd percent, but, you look at crazy names like this thing, it's up 600%. Right out of the gate. Boom! And there's a bunch of these names. So one thing I will say is, if you're watching this channel for the first time and you're kind of like, whoa, who are these guys? I mean, these kids are just absolutely killing it. If you can force yourself to come in and just do everything that we teach at TRI, oh my goodness, the profits have just been absolutely insane. What's this one? This one, there you are, up a nice 200-300%. Sjord, TRI's Chief Technology Officer, I think that's what we call him, or something like that. Anyway, this was one of his favorites, up 300% in 1 month. So, the kids are having fun. Oh, here's another one. This thing is just... This thing's a damn rocket. This is one of our site members, Zugi. Zugi Sticks, anyway, that's what his name. Anyway, up 178%, and it looks like it wants more. And Jesus, I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. Interesting how this is all sort of centered around, and he's not all. A lot of it seems to be centered around this artificial intelligence fad that's going on right now. I don't know whether I personally buy into the whole ChatGPT thing. ChatGPT, I think it is, something like that. It's an interesting social experience, and if anything, what really concerns me is it's like the ultimate social engineering tool, and it doesn't surprise me that Billy Gates went, "Oh my God, I have to have that for my search engine," and they were all over that damn thing. So, and I suppose it's sort of the next iteration of the interneting. Is it actually artificial intelligence in itself? I don't think so. You know what? And the reason why I don't think this artificial intelligence stuff is actually really intelligent at all is that about 6-8 months ago, we were, I guess about a year ago, we were chatting about other artificial intelligence proxies. And you tell me, if this thing was so intelligent, would it not have foreseen what was going to happen? So it's an idea. I think it has some legs, and I think, of course, the impression that I get is it's a ridiculously deep amount of if then else's, and if the user types this, then do that, else do this, else do that, else do this, else do that, and it's a massive database. And so it just literally goes through and it just pulls out, conditional statements that it spits back out at you. And I've gone through a few of the artificial intelligence sort of, that chat GPT thing. And I mean, there's a lot of holes in it. So I don't know how quote unquote intelligent it is, but it is an interesting step forward. And what I've found, what this reminds me a lot of, especially, we had like a little list of them, although it's gotten a bit convoluted with all this price action here. We had a few of these. Actually, I even bought a setup here. This is one of my bot setups that I like to trade. And I'm trading this thing as a bot setup. If it does pop up here like all the others, then I'll just walk away, take profits. But this reminds me a lot of Arch. And I don't know whether any of you even remember Arch. When I first got into the crypto space, and that was 2014, and the spring of 2015, and I've often told you guys that I think that this market is very, very similar to that market. Yeah, this is always a challenge. Let's see if I can find the chart I want to show you. I always do this. Anyway. Do. I think it's this one. No, it's not that one. I want to show you crypto. Here we are. I think this is the one I want to show you. Am I right? Or am I wrong? No, I'm wrong. Oh well. I can still show you it here anyway. When I first got into this space, it was right in here. And the spring summer of 2015, you can see Bitcoin had its sort of big dump. And I think that this cycle is very similar to this one. The cycle that we're in right now is very similar to this one. So it had a really big dump right into January. Could you argue that Bitcoin's dumped there? And then you notice there was a big spring back rally right off of the lows. And then we kind of went sideways for a good chunk of the year. And I think that that's what we're in for this year. But through this market, and especially right into here, this sort of spring period and into the summer, that's when this story was all the rage. And there were a lot of guys, I remember, that made a lot of money on this funny Arch coin. And the interesting thing is of course, it went belly up, and it was a complete fraud, and the whole thing was just a disaster, and it ended horribly, and everybody, of course, who just bought and held got wiped out. But we were all supposed to be living on our Mobies here, and it was a bit of an odd story, but nonetheless, the price of Arch coin I mean, any of you? There's only 15 of you on YouTube. I would imagine probably most of you are Paul people. But Do any of you remember Archcoin? Have you been in this space long enough to remember this story? I mean, this thing went up like 100x and then came crashing all the way right back down. So I get the feeling that, everybody's all rah, 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 and we're seeing this market lift. But, it's not, if anything, when you see a chart that looks like this, you have to tell yourself, is this maybe too far, too fast? Do assets normally, come on, let's call a spade a spade. Do assets normally rally 400-500% in about a month's time? Come on, people. So, if anything, I'm a little worried that, and I think the expression is too far, too fast. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. So be careful here, everyone. This isn't, if anything, this is the hallmark of what we're kind of worried about here around TRI of late is, probably there was a tweet that I put out a while ago that I think sort of summarizes what I'm kind of thinking is going to happen this year. We do have a big sort of congressional hearing coming up in the States. U.S. Senate Banking Committee to hold crypto crash hearings. Unfortunately, people like Elizabeth Warren, that's going to be her sort of opportunity to crap on crypto and all that kind of fun stuff. I don't know how this is going to play out. And I guess I'm kind of worried. You're back in 5 minutes, or you're back now?
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Oh, I thought you just went for your smoke. All right. So I'll talk for another 5 minutes. He'll be back from his smoke. And then we'll jump over to Paul. Oh, Jesus. Look what time it is. I've already been blabbing for half an hour here. Sorry, everyone. Anyway, Paul finishes smoke. Let us know when you're back, and then we'll jump into your presentation, okay? Anyway. And by all means, Ben, if you have anything you want to add to the equation, please feel free to chime in. So I think we're at a bit of an interesting situation. I'm not quite sure how this plays out. This is the event. You don't see the vertical line on here. You can see the vertical line on here. So do we do a sell the rumor? And if we do, this would be very typical. Colin, I don't know whether you guys are you familiar with Colin. Kind of like Paul. Colin, took all the education program. It's good to see we got Paul. He's committed to finishing the education program, which I think is in his best interest. But here's another gentleman who took the education program with us a few years ago. Colin, and Random Task, I think is his name. And he's a principal over at this Hero Labs. And congratulations, Colin, of course, recently had a baby. Doesn't he look good for a guy who just had a baby? Anyway, so his little one, I think actually his little one's a year old now. But anyway, so you've probably heard me talk about this before, that, markets should, by definition, correct back to 38.2s just at any given point in time. That would be a normal, healthy thing to happen. So if we actually got a dump in Bitcoin price down into, this is 38.2, this is 50%, and Colin, he liked to call this, and I think it's a great name, and I love to make our site people famous. You see what we're doing with Paul and his trading community here. I suppose, Ben, we got to get you some sort of community up and running. Didn't you do folk music? We got to somehow pump up your folk music business or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, working on a little old lady album right now.
There you go. There's got to be some way we can tie in NFTs or something into that, though, eh? Anyway.
Yeah.
So, we could call this the Collins Pump Chaser Zone. This is what, if you are really a crypto bull, then this is really what you want to see. You want to see them clean up the excess, get this thing back down to 38.2s, 50% levels, and then put in a base to set the next leg higher. But I don't think that's what they have in store. But, if anything, this is such a great example, and this is it's a perfect tie-in to our prediction business. How accurate are we at actually really predicting the future? I don't think it's in anybody's interest to predict the future. I did, as sort of a side, kind of fun, I said, okay, I don't know what the hell's going to happen, but it's either going to play out one of two ways. Either this is a head and shoulders top and we come back down to 38.2s and 50% levels and just clean the market up, or actually this is setting the base and this is actually a left shoulder of a massive head and shoulders pattern, and we're just about to go through a massive blow off top heading into that congressional event. And if anything, if you do see crypto go absolutely insane, this would be buy the rumor, and then I'd be very, very concerned on the other side, sell the news. How ugly does ugly have to get on the other side of that event? So, actually all I've said here is I actually think that the bull-bear battle, and keep in mind this is higher time frame, this isn't scalping, this is just, this would be position trading. It's either going to be the bull wins, of which you want to be long from about 23,500, and that's this bought entry level. You risk down to a break of these recent lows, and as you can see, even now we are flirting with those lows. Actually, the bullish case would be this chart. So, the bot, it wants one low, it wants two lows, it wants three lows. Oh, this is looking interesting. You notice here we are right at that trend line. If we can break out through the trend line and give me any kind of bullish consolidation, any kind of sign of a W in here, there's that 23,618. And really, this is just going to set up a nice simple 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio. If you're lucky, maybe you get long from that level and it turns out it's even a better trade. That would be like front-running the bot, what I like to call that. But, in essence, there's your risk window. And feel pretty confident that this is a pretty well-defined A, B, C, D. So that means that our profit objective has to be somewhere up in this area. And you never know. I mean, maybe you just sell like half of the position, 3/4 of the position. Put your stop at scratch. And this thing goes straight to 100,000, right? That's all you want, right? So that's the bull scenario. Are you a bull? Are you a bear? I mean, frankly speaking, I don't think anybody really has a crystal ball and knows what's going to happen. But I think that's the bull scenario. And then the bear scenario, like I said earlier, which I think actually would be better for us in the long run, is, kind of like what you saw with these kind of names. Is this sustainable? I mean, God, you all saw what happened after that damn Bitcoin rally and then dump and then, FTX and all that crap. You don't really want to see markets move this far, this fast. This is unsustainable. Markets, ironically enough, actually something that we teach in the Level 2 program, and we should probably quiz Paul because he's just starting the Level 2, but I don't think he's at that module yet. But let's see if Ben can answer the question. If we were going to, first off, are your charts square? I'm not going to get into squaring your charts right now, but let's assume that this is square. If you squared up your charts, what would be the natural, normal rate of change of an asset? That would be a healthy bull market. Any ideas, Ben?
45-degree angle.
Oh, you are the man. So,
Yeah, it's a man.
Where is 45 degrees? There it is there. So, the problem here, of course, is are your charts square? There is a way to go in here and actually square up your chart, but when I do this, it's going to shock you. So, I think you go settings and scales, All right, and then we will set, I think it's in here, scale placement, lock scale, right? You ready? This is going to fry your brain here. So 1-to-1 would be, just think of this as GAN and a piece of graph paper. Now this trades at a fraction, so you can't really use 1-to-1, but a squared piece of graph paper charting this, it would look like that. You can't even see that. So, in this kind of case, maybe what you do is you say, well, maybe a tenth of a penny, or a tenth of a dollar. So we'll go 10%. So 0.10, 10 cents for every 1 unit. All right, well, that's a little bit better. I think that's probably still not doing us justice. Let's go maybe, I don't know, a penny. All right, well, it's getting better. I suppose one could argue, well, if that's the case, Brian, it sure looks to me like this thing's undervalued. I think probably the best thing in this kind of scenario would be to usually what we do is, and this is getting a little off topic. Paul, are you back yet? And just filling in the time waiting for Paul to finish his smoke. You back?
Yeah.
All right. So, what we might do is just track a vibrational signature of this asset to try and square up our charts. That's another thing we could do. So we can see that 45-degree angle there. So if I wanted to do the same thing going the other direction, and it's just using what they call the vibrational signature. I'm just going to eyeball this, though. It's not very scientific. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Let's go off of here. Okay, so 45-degree angle. Maybe this thing could move up a bit more. But I don't know. It just feels to me like this is going just a bit too far, too fast. You know what I'm going to do? Is let's quiz Marat and see how he would draw the scale on this, because he's our GAN expert on the site. But I suppose interesting, we do have an angle here to work with. But, actually, like GAN aficionados, they love this 8-to-1 angle, and you can see that's like the killer level to buy. So if that's the case, then gee whiz, there's the 8-to-1 all the way down there. And if I do reload zones, I think you'll probably see that off of that as well. So if we go boom and reload zone, yeah. So there's 78.6, 88.6. I love, we've talked about that in the past, kind of like crypto reload zones. You can see this is pretty far down here. So I'm just a little concerned that, there's my classic reload zone, 61.8. So just a little bit worried that, price has just gone a little too far, too fast here. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so giving you an idea, like I said, weekly basis, I'm quite encouraged by the fact that we've basically turned on time. And, these 4-year cycles. Interestingly enough, if you want a fun comparison study, this is the 14, 15, 16, 17 bull run, bear run, and then bull run. I think we're going to look a heck of a lot like this by the end of all this, which means that this 23 year is kind of a back and forth year. And, it'd be interesting if you want a fun experiment, just take a screenshot of that. I'll even do you a favor and throw it in the chat. And draw up all these date lines and, do things like how long was the correction from peak to trough? How long until we actually saw a W come back in the market from the peak? How long from things like halvening events until new bull markets? I guess there's the halvening event. And map out what this year looks like in comparison, because I think you're going to see a lot of similarities. Oh, that didn't work. All right, maybe I'll do that while Paul's talking. Okay, so that's sort of my 10,000 foot overview. I think we're at a bit of a crossroads right now. frankly speaking, I don't know how this is going to play out. We either head and shoulders dump into Collins' dump chaser zones, which I actually think would give the politicians the ammunition that they want to start regulating the space, all that kind of stuff. Or, and really, like I said, I have no idea which way this is going to go. But if we can get back above this trend line, start Wing out, then I have to start thinking bullishly. And interestingly enough, we are weak and we had kind of a nasty last day or two. So the algorithm is sort of sitting there going, well, I'm thinking about crossing back bullish, but maybe I'm not quite ready just yet. Regardless, if this does cross back bullish, this particular trading plan will have me go back in on the long side. So wish me luck on that trade, but it hasn't come in yet, and it'll be interesting to see what the data presents to us tonight, considering price was actually a bit soft here today. So, okay, Paul,
Yep.
are you ready to screen share?
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm using the regular monitor. The only way I can really do this with Paul is I have to basically jump over to the Hangout to show his image. So you might find that the picture quality goes down a little bit. My apologies. There's not really much I can do about it with this OBS and Google Hangouts. All right. So looks like... Oh, actually, that's cool. Looks like we've got your screen up and running. Oh, actually, I had that other screen actually all along. Oh, isn't that funny? Okay. So it looks like Paul's showing. So I'll put myself on mute and let's hear what Paul thinks about this market.
Yeah, not too much. From last week at least. Not too much to say. Like you saw on my prediction, 1% minus is not a hell of a lot movement in the market, at least not on Bitcoin. Some altcoins, they pop out. Some of them, they are at the same level. Let's just take a look. So, on 12 months, nothing to say. Same level, nothing to update you. We are still in the long reload zone at this moment. This is good. I like this idea that will range. I don't know, couple of months, maybe half a year in this area, maybe even longer. So let's take a look at weekly chart. Weekly chart, we are still in the same area like last week. We didn't hit 25.2. We are just below that level. Seems like the market wants to at least to consolidate at this level. My idea is maybe we'll hit 25.2 and then back down. We didn't have a proper retracement, not yet at least. We need to do one. I don't know if this week or maybe next week or maybe 2 weeks from now, but at some point we need a healthy retracement. I'm still waiting on 25.2, but seems like not yet. We have a nice double on weekly chart. I love that, but I need a Wyckoff check now at least a Wyckoff check. So on the daily chart, as you can see, I have the same level, SFU short level 25.2. We are back in the short reload zone. I see this pattern. Maybe will range a little bit, but for me the market looks heavy. You can see if we'll confirm a bit lower, we'll have an M, an ugly one, but we'll have an M. And if you take a look at indicators, you can see some bearish divergence already formed on MACD, RSI, OBV no, but you can see wheelies coming off from overbought. So for me, the market at this point looks a bit heavy. At least a retest at 21.5, something like that. At least. Yeah, we can go higher. We can go to 25.2, but in my view, will be the last move up, the fake out, let's say it. Yeah. just my 2 cents is what I see in the market. So let's take a look at 4-hour chart on Bitcoin. We're back in the reload zone. I have this range. I love to play the market in a range, but this range is not so funny to or so profitable to trade. It's a bit small, it's a bit violent. I don't like it. But you can see the middle of the range is well respected. This is the middle of the range. We just did a fake out to the upside, back in the middle, back below, tested uh, from underside, and now back to the bottom side of the range. For me, like I said, the market looks a bit heavy. Yeah, maybe if we'll put a W on 4-hour chart and well, we can start moving up again, but I don't see it, not yet. And you can see the last move up. You can see the bearish divergence on MACD, RSI, multiple bearish divergence. Even OBV is slowing down. Really, it's at the middle of the range. Seems like the market doesn't have a clear direction. We can go up, we can go down, but I'm inclining to the retracement option. Just my 2 cents, but yeah, we can go up, but I don't see anything bullish at this point. Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, we have a nice chart on Bitcoin dominance. You can see. I don't know if last week we have had this one, but we have now a nice, let's say, Wyckoff check of the 61.8 short reload zone and ugly rejection from that point. Yeah. So on 4 days we don't have an M, but on daily chart we have a big M on Bitcoin dominance. So I'm okay with looking for some altcoins to hunt. But the problem is I don't have a good location for altcoins now. So I still need to wait for a good location to hunt a long setup on altcoin. Yeah, we can retest at least 42 if the Bitcoin will range. Some altcoins could outperform and we'll test 42, maybe even back in the reload zone. I don't see it at this point. I see only a retest of 42 level. And from that point, I'll have to reassess if the market wants up or down. Ethereum versus Bitcoin in the same range from a long time. We have this big range, up and down. Now we just bounce from the middle of the range. Could be just a bearish retest of DCM. Nothing to do on Ethereum versus Bitcoin. They just range a big range in a small, in another small range. If we'll go on the short reload zone, then I could think bearish. If we'll go and do a Wyckoff check to the lower part, I could think bullish. If I'll have enough reasons in the middle of this big range, not too much to do. Some people like to go from Bitcoin to Ethereum and back and forth, but this movement it's a bit ugly for me at least. I prefer to do all my trades versus dollar, USDT or BUSD, and that's it. Total two, same idea. This range is really nice. We are the other side of the trend line. I like that. We just touched the short reload zone. Yeah, nice. But now do a nice retracement and give me a weekly W. Will take some time. I know that, but I want a weekly W so I could think bullish on the total one or total two. They look similar. At this point, it's a bit too far, too fast. Straight to the short reload zone. You can see we reject a little bit from the short reload zone. This is a nice range. We can stay in this range a long time, and it's something healthy to be in this range. So from 700 billion to 400, it's a good range. We can stay in this one. I don't know, maybe 6 months, maybe even 1 year. I don't think we'll sit in this range 1 year, but if we're lucky, 6-8 months, we can still accumulate some crypto. News reports for the next week, actually from today. We have Friday. We have Michigan consumer sentiment that could move the market a little bit. And next week we have the inflation rate and core inflation rate that will definitely move the market. And retail. Yeah, I'll take a look just in 1 second.
Yeah.
Retail sales for next Friday, next Wednesday, before the next live stream. I could think we can range, but I prefer not to have a open position. At least I'm a day trader. I'm a scalper. I don't want to have anything open before a big news. I don't want to get an ugly slippage. I don't want to. I just want to be on the sidelines. After the news, I'll see the direction. I could play the reaction. I don't want to be, I don't know, half an hour before and half an hour after the news. I don't want to be in a trade. I want to be completely on the sidelines. Ideas and some altcoins, not too many ideas on altcoins. I don't have a good location for, I don't know, 99% of them. But it's just me. You can, if you want to hunt on lower time frames, yeah, you can find the long, you can find the short. But this show, it's about, I don't know, long-term investments, maybe some position trading, maybe for some swing trading, but it's not for day trading. That's why I don't usually put day trading ideas. So I have this bot setup on 12 hours. You can frame it on 8 hours if you want, maybe even on 4 hours. So you can see A, B, C, D. We have all the condition for a bot setup. I don't think this could be one low and this is the second one. Let's say this is one low, this is the second one. And now we are trying to form the third one. My idea is something like that. I'll put my stop limit order at the entry. If the market wants to break down and invalidate my bot, I'll cancel my order. If the market wants to go up and take my order, I'll be in a trade. So that's my thinking about this trade. And I have another one, same idea, same concept. I don't like this week, but it's a valid bot. We didn't go below 66%. Same idea, one low, second one, the third one. I'll put my limit order at the entry point. Same idea. If the market wants to go up and take my order, okay. If the market wants to invalidate my bot setup, I'll just cancel my order and look for the next setup. Still hard mode for me. I don't exceed 1% on any trade. I still, even for swing trading, I keep in my risk at 1%. For scalping, even at 0.5%. Same idea with this year. Just slowly, with a lot of patience, slowly accumulate. Could be the best year to do that. And at the end, Brian keeps reminding me that treat trading like a business and market will treat you like a king. Now let's take a look at the market. Let's take a look at the
It's a
market.
damn good line, man. Damn good line.
Right, it's now let's see. Yeah, seems like we'll go a bit down. Yeah,
Yeah, that's so I just I don't know whether I don't think I had the microphone on, but when I saw corn break that
yeah.
little double bottom low there, I barked in, "Holy shit, something's happening."
No, you're on mute at that point.
Yeah.
Actually, honestly, I day trade. I do day trades now. I don't have too much to do on this range, so I'll stay on the traditional market and framing some trades. Let's see Bitcoin now. Oh, on 5-minute chart, it's just breaking down.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Yeah, nice.
Ah, now you're a volume profile aficionado, eh?
I'm from a long time. I'm a volume profile.
Have you gotten to volume profile in the level 2
Yeah, this
program
week
yet?
I didn't had time to watch the videos and the materials. I just did the quiz. I passed the exam, but I need to take a deeper look. I prefer to learn everything.
Good, good. Well, like Hoag's value trades, it's good shit, man. I mean,
Yeah,
it's very usable. P's
I'm
and
really
D's and
interesting
the whole thing.
to proper learn this concept. I really like it. I had a short from the morning in Bitcoin. I still have some.
That's
You
good.
can see it's 11 to 1.
Not bad. Better than kicking the
So
pants.
I still have 25% on this move down. I closed the 75%. I move my stop to scratch and I'll just let the rest ride. I'll be stopped out, so be it. And I have another one from the top. I still have 50%, but that one is for to hedge my spot portfolio. It's a different on a different account and it's a different concept. I want to hedge my altcoin position. I don't want to sell them, so I have the short from this top.
Mm, nice.
Yeah, Ethereum, the same idea is broke below. I like that. Let's see DXY. DXY is going down and Bitcoin is going down. Nice.
Well, somebody probably said something over. What is it? It's 7 o'clock, so this is probably right around the Japanese lunch hour.
Yeah,
So my hunch is somebody probably said something in Asia that probably didn't go over very well.
yeah, probably.
But anyway,
I'm testing this concept from last 2 weeks with the moving average,
the rainbows,
and
excellent,
yeah,
good, good. Yeah,
I
rainbows.
just want
That's
as I want to see if it suits to my style of trading. If it's working for me, okay.
That's Nico Barber, I think his name is. Nico, I think that's who it is. Anyway,
Uh,
Seward's a really big fan of his.
It's a bit
Um,
slow for me. For a trend direction, yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's okay, but it's a bit slow. I
mhm.
prefer the market structure. It's a bit faster. So I could see a small W. I could enter. I could exit at 2 to 1
Sure.
until they'll give me. But it's a nice concept. Yeah,
Well,
I could
also
use that
too,
if
when
I
you
need it.
have people in your community asking about things like this, at least you're taking the time now to expose yourself to this stuff.
Yeah,
So,
some
but
people prefer this stuff. I only have. Let me see if I have it here. Uh, Not this one where I have it. I know I have somewhere. I have yeah, this one I like. The
mm,
TRI, your moving average system.
isn't that cool? It's so cool
Yeah,
the way
this
people like
this
take
this
concepts and build scripts and stuff around this stuff. So
this is
awesome.
from TRI. Is not mine. It's from someone I don't know from who, but it's not mine. I like this one.
Hmm.
Keeps me honest.
One
So
plus one equals three.
from time to time I just show this on the screen and then I close it back. I want my screen to be clean, but keeps me honest when I don't have a clear direction.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, and you said your magic line, right? So
Yeah,
we're good this week, right?
yeah,
And from what I understand, um, I think the market's treating you fairly well. So
yeah,
it looks
really
like
nice.
it.
I nothing to complain about.
Yeah, there you go. Good. Good for you.
Nothing to complain. Not even on crypto. No, I'm trying the traditional market now, slow and steady. I don't want to overtrade or something, but now the traditional market it's a bit simpler to trade than crypto.
Okay. Somebody over there on YouTube says EMA MA doesn't work on ranging markets and really moving average systems.
Doesn't work on
You
ranging
have to
market, but
understand that moving averages, by definition, are trend following tools.
yeah,
So,
but
Trying to
But
force a moving average system to work in a ranging market is tough. So,
but in the same idea, what it's a range on 4-hour chart could be a nice micro trend on 50 minutes or 5-minute chart.
could
So
be.
depending on your view, if you have let's say this Bitcoin, yeah, this 4-hour chart it's a range, but if I go on let's say 5-minute chart, you can see the trend. Yeah, this is a trend. This one is a trend. This one the same idea. So you can find a micro trend on 5-minute chart. So you can use the moving average on lower time frames if you are able to trade on that time frame. Yeah, indeed, market it's in a range, but in the same time it's in a trend. It's in the same time in a trend, depending on the time frame and your perspective.
There you
Just
go.
my 2 cents.
And that's Paul's 2 cents. Current bid. What's the bid for your 2 cents these days? Probably about 3 or
I
4
don't
cents, eh?
know. Yeah,
So there you go. And Paul's opinions in high demand. I would still agree with you that you have to put the tool into context with what it is you're trying to identify. I remember when I was at a prop firm years ago, I go to the group, I go, this game's pretty easy. And they're all like, oh, yeah, yeah. And it's like, yeah. All you got to do is figure out if the market's ranging or trending and then just trade appropriately. And they're like, duh.
yeah. If I'll take a look at
So
4-hour chart, indeed, you can see it.
I
Yeah,
suppose
it's a range.
one expression that we had on the site years ago is the trend is your friend until
Until
it
it is
isn't.
not.
So, all right.
Yeah, and
Well,
this area is not working. Yeah, I'm okay with that. But if I switch the time frame when I go on 50-minute chart, yeah, it's working. You can see the moving average, cross bearish, cross bullish, and we can take a look. Yeah, bullish. You'll get some fake out, but if you, on higher time frame it's a bull trend, you don't want to play the bearish cross. You want to play only the bullish one. No, you want to stay with the trend.
all right. So Ben, you are awfully quiet here tonight.
Yeah, too quiet. Last time.
What's on your mind these days? Are you when it's interesting? I did that survey on Twitter, and I just asked, "What do you guys think? Do you think we're going up or we're going down?" And it's interesting the results. I thought that was shocking. It was actually a dead heat, 50-50.
Yeah.
So
Okay. And
even
that
the
probably
community
speaks to,
didn't really know which way we were going to go. So,
yeah.
what,
And
what,
I
what are you
mean, you've got
thinking?
two scenarios there that you drew up.
I beg your pardon?
And you've got two different scenarios there that you've drawn up of what could happen.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best place to be, because one thing that I often find with myself is that I have a proclivity to kind of force my will on
Yeah.
what I think it's going to do.
Yeah.
And that's when you get into trouble. But being open-minded and having a plan for either way, I think is, yeah. But having said that, put a gun to my head. I like the idea of having a little bit of a cool off and a pullback.
It would be healthy.
Then,
I'll tell you
yeah.
that much.
Otherwise, it's already too fast. I don't know.
What the hell's
what it sets up if it goes
Paul
beyond
looking
that.
at now? You're
I'm
still
looking
screen
at
sharing,
FTSE.
so we're off now. We're trading the FTSE. Is that the FTSE?
Yeah.
UK 100?
Yeah, and I had this up and down movement, and I put the parking garage to the upside and to the downside. And look at what nice entry I got with this one.
That's smart.
Yeah, I got a nice W, nice retest, long, 2.2, out, next bus.
Well done. Actually, that's what Anton Kroll's marketplace. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
You probably get along with Anton Kroll. Do you remember him?
Yeah, I know I'm a subscriber. He's closed the Anton. Let's see.
Yeah, I seem to remember that I saw his name on your Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you opened again his subscription. You can subscribe again, but at some point was on private or something like that.
Yeah, he's not the. I don't think I would consider him like a PMA kind of guy. I don't. He doesn't strike
He's
me
a
as that.
PMA for him. That's it.
Okay.
Only for him. I don't know. It's a trader.
Man,
I don't want a friend
people are people.
to be friend with Anton Kreil. I want to learn something from him if I get the chance.
There you go. There's an
So
attitude. All right.
he's a bit expensive at his courses, but
Yeah.
it's a different thing.
All right. Where do we want to take this bus from here? It's 20 past the hour. Do we want to look at some ideas? Anybody? Actually, it might be interesting. Why don't you fire up good old BSV?
Bitcoin Cash?
We were looking at that earlier. And if you guys want
You
our
don't want
two
me to let
cents here over on YouTube, fire in some symbols and we can look at them. We got about 40 minutes left here before we'll call it an evening. Unless, Ben, did you want to screen share a bit and show us what's on your mind these days? Or not?
I
There's
don't.
no
I
pressure.
don't really have anything to probably of too much value. I'm kind of just sitting on my hands at the moment. I think that that total market cap minus Bitcoin. I don't know if you've got that one, Paul, but it seems like we're just hovering around that 2.618 extension at the moment,
Is that
which I think is quite interesting.
total tune.
Yeah. So if you were to draw a foggy off of the bottom there, that
This
little
one,
W there, yeah.
the little one or the big one?
Yeah, the little one.
Let me.
Oh, not the teeny tiny one, but on the right
This
there.
one?
Yeah, right at the trend line there. Yeah.
Yeah. 1 second. Hours levels. This one. Yeah, we just hit that level and back down. A nice
Yeah.
confluence with 61.8 short 3 low zone.
Mhm.
And now we're trying to put an EM. It's not complete yet. If you put the line chart, you can see it better. But could be a complete EM in, I don't know, today or
Yeah.
maybe tomorrow. Yeah.
So we'll see how it acts through there. Like Brian says, if it goes through there, we know where it goes next.
Yeah, but
that's
I
a
need
cool,
a close, a candle body close above this level too.
That's
Right.
a cool stepping stone.
Yeah.
That's kind of
And
neat.
if you look left, you see the rejection from this the same
Yeah.
level. So
I would like to see a head and shoulders kind of come in there, an inverted head and shoulders.
Yeah, so nice.
And
And
then
actually, that's what would
that'd be
make
a whack-off
sense, eh?
check.
Like we should come back down and test that 100 level, and that would make like a nice, like if this
Yeah.
whole bottom was the head, and
probably
the left shoulder was the lows from like October, November in there, and then if the right shoulder could come down.
61.8,
Yeah.
100 level. So yeah, seems
Yeah, if
logical.
you could get a pullback in there and then a nice W, that would set up a nice base. Actually, I would like
Yeah.
that. That would actually work pretty well.
That will give me my weekly W.
Yeah. And that extension as well of that head and shoulders would go right to that dump chaser zone, big fat round number 1 trillion, which would
What happened to that guy that was calling for like 7 trillion by the middle of summer? I don't know whether you buy. Did you guys buy into that?
Yeah,
I didn't
but it's a
see
bit
it.
early, 2 years early, something like that. At least 2 years early.
I think he's out on the open ocean. All right, so do you want to chart or do you want to go and look at other stuff and somebody else can chart here tonight, Paul? It's up to you.
Yeah, I tricked Ben last time, so I'll do it.
I appreciate it.
All right, so as we said, double. What the hell does that say?
Bitcoin Cash.
WSES. Typed in BSV. That was the first one to go in. So what does that one look like?
BSV.
Yeah, what the hell? We haven't looked at good old. I think this. I don't know whether this was. Was that the
This
one
is
that we
Bitcoin Cash.
mentioned earlier, or was that a different one? I'd be
No,
curious
this
to
is.
see whether what's his name again? Craig Wright, right? Be interesting
Ah,
to
I
see
could take a
whether
look.
that's
BSV.
BCH. So that's Roger Ver's one, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the one
Where
that we
the fuck
have.
I
Yeah,
could
that's
get
the one
that
that we
one?
have in the crypto top 30. So we don't
Is
have BSV.
and BSV is not on Binance anymore, so I don't know. Bittrex maybe. Ah,
Shitterex. Oh, goodness. Wow, look at
it's
that thing.
definitely cheap, but looks dead. Let's see.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't see nothing on OBV. Usually at the bottom, OBV looks a bit stronger, but now I don't know.
yeah. Well, you know
Maybe.
what that looks like? That looks like almost every single coin on Shitterex. So,
Yeah.
if anything, that's par for the course for that exchange.
And I don't see a big consolidation, not yet. I need, I don't know, a couple of months of ranging in this area.
All right, and that's that Craig Wright coin, right? So the one that
Wow.
is still alive that's issuing a 6 on ours is
Yeah.
BCH. So what does BCH look like? I wonder.
1 second. Come on, go back.
There you are.
Well,
All
it's
right. Well,
still,
I guess I can understand. Is that a weekly chart? Yeah, it is. Yeah.
yeah,
So it's got a weekly W in there. So.
yeah. And you can see the last candle. Maybe we are lucky and we'll get a nice retest at this level,
Yeah.
at the long reload zone. Why not?
Well,
I'm
probably.
interested to buy some at this level at 61.8, even maybe even lower.
Yeah, it's not a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that is a new closing low though, so a little bit suspect.
On daily looks a bit better.
Yeah. Interesting railroad tracks down there. Yeah. So somebody
Yeah, this
definitely
one.
likes it below $100. Actually,
Well,
it'd be interesting to do a fog and bomb off of that W.
this one.
Yeah, I wonder where the heck that
Uh,
takes us.
a bit higher. Wyckoff check to the downside to the other level. Just 1 second. House levels. Okay.
Oh, way up there. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would make a nice inverted head and shoulders. David O would like that.
Yeah. You can see 4, 6. It's
Get
in
all
this
the way up
area.
there, but first it's
877.
got to clear through that 2.618. What do you have on
Yeah.
there? I think that should be 2.618, just for whatever it's worth.
2.618.
Yeah,
Yeah. Why not?
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would make interesting head and shoulders there. But if we
Yep.
come back down, then it'll be
Will
interesting to
probably
see
come
it.
down and retest this level.
Yeah, and if it breaks that W, that 100 level, then that negates it, I think.
We already have an EM working
Yeah.
and a head and
Interesting.
shoulder pattern.
Good
If we'll zoom
leading
out, you can see.
indicator, right? Yeah, well, I like your 61.8 level. That looks interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. What else is next on the Millennial
Okay.
Insight says Shanghai fork is the next catalyst for ETH. So it is a fork? Is that what they're calling it? All right. Bob says he's one of us. Is that Bob? Are you Romanian? We were talking about the Romanians earlier. Daily couldn't be more of a textbook short B. Yeah, sure looks like market's kind of breaking down here, right? 3-bar fractal just fired on BTC, says Juan Jun.
Yeah.
All right. Eye on the weeklies. MIR, Adam. Adam is Mr. Oliveria da Hospital.
Let's take a look at KuCoin. The best
MIR, do you
idea.
have MIR? Hey, there it is.
It's definitely cheap.
Is this the Luna name? Is that the same thing? wasn't
No,
that M
no, no, no.
something in Luna?
I don't know honestly.
Mere USD. Well, there's the
Okay,
chart for you. So
Coinbase.
I thought it was part of Luna. I'll look it up for you, Brian. I think you might
Mirror
be right.
Protocol. It sounds familiar, but it
Mm, mm, mm.
which
It's like
I
this,
know.
like kind of
From
synthetic
time to time,
assets.
he's waking up from the dead, just to tell us he's
Uh,
not completely dead. It's definitely cheap. Let's see weekly chart.
yeah, I have
It's part of Luna.
Mirror USDT. This is, if I'm not mistaken, I think this has some sort of association with Luna. And I think what's happening here, yeah, thanks, Adam. I think what's happening here is AKT has come to life, and I think it's going to be the savior of the Luna story, if there is going to be any savior. And I think that the mirror, if it's going to catch a bit, it's probably part of that story.
Yeah, it's definitely cheap. Definitely
It's definitely
good for a
cheap.
yeah for a little old
Good at
lady.
beating.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, the question is, Adam, maybe you can only answer this. Do you still believe in, what's the guy's name? Do Kwon? I think that's what his name is. Do either of you have an opinion about Do?
I don't.
No.
I just shorted the Luna until the end,
Did you?
and
You
that's it.
shorted it into the ground, eh?
Yeah,
Oh, good for
a
you.
small position, but
Paul Young Jr. says there's legislation about MIR in the U.S. from what what I remember. All right. Adam says I believe in the chart. I mean litigation. Oh, litigation. Oh, interesting. Yeah, wasn't Mir? Weren't they going to like list like all of the stocks in the stock exchange or something like that off of this thing? I seem to remember it was something like that.
Yeah, and they actually had a couple of kind of synthetic assets on
Galaxy,
out there.
right? Poor old
Yeah, I think you could even
Novogratz.
get Tesla. I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, they probably
Um,
Tesla. Probably if speaking of which, this would be a good opportunity to zoom in on like, even that trading range down at the bottom, but maybe even look at the daily charts to see if there's anything that we can glean off of sort of zooming in down at the bottom there. Hey, there
yeah,
you go.
why not?
What's that?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, so
Let's
your bottom there probably is a reload zone. Yeah, look at that, eh?
yeah.
Holy textbook, eh? I mean, is it worth learning this funny little trick? You know, it was so bizarre. I was on YouTube the other day, and some guy's like, "You have to learn this fib. It's the minus 38.2," and it was like he did like a fib study, like you did on your chart, but past the 100. He would do like a minus
Yeah,
38.2. I was like, wow, that's a bit bizarre. I've never seen that before.
yeah, but it's the same concept.
I suppose you could probably do fibs going both directions, eh?
Yeah, let's see what we got. Oh,
Yeah, up there. And I'm like, wow, that's weird. I've never seen anybody do that before. I didn't quite understand that. But I suppose maybe if this
for a target,
ABCDs.
maybe,
Yeah,
maybe.
this is a very bizarre study. Yeah. Anyway, it's fascinating going through YouTube right now and just watching all these little shorts and stuff like that. All these crazy sort of quote unquote traders popping up out of the woodwork now. There's some pretty and also too what I find fascinating is there's a lot of stories going around the guys that were doing really well, trend following through that COVID market, they've basically given all the money right back. Oh,
Seems
man.
like the OBV is looking happy on this one.
Yeah, got it. Well, we always like those OBV divs, eh?
Yeah,
So is that a divergence? I guess it is off of those previous lows, like going back to last summer.
yeah, yeah, definitely. From this,
So yeah, I guess you might say money is coming back into this thing.
yeah.
Are you thinking about a new trade here, Adam, or are you still bag holding the old shit? Because I would imagine there's probably a lot of people. You know, like all those big wicks that you see on Paul's screen, those are all trap bulls, and they would
Yeah,
love to somehow get released.
yeah, but the weeks they are all the way up in this area, so I
Yeah.
could get a double or two doubles in this. Why not?
Well, just that recent rally. Notice how it stalled out right into all those cluster of wicks up there. People were getting bullish.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that area in there, people were taking their shots. And unfortunately, I think probably those people are the ones that just said, screw it, man. Get my original money. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I could find a better one.
Probably.
Yeah.
And they're probably looking at it going, whew, glad I did that now. Jeez. So it looks like, to me, honestly, this chart looks like you're just a bit early. You know, maybe give it a little bit more time to saucer out. But, you know, like, pull up the, oh, okay, you got one you want to look at? Digo?
Yeah, I saw a
What's this?
call speaking about.
There's
the
a
comment.
big fat weekly W. Gee whiz. That
Yeah,
looks good.
let's put the weekly W.
What do those guys do? Is this
I
another,
don't know, but the chart looks nice.
You don't care.
Look at the
Ah, you
OBV.
just-
Let me. My idea, Brian. I see a lot of hype with AI coins.
yeah.
Is AI and blockchain? They don't have anything in common. Nothing in common. It's just hype. So why I should look at the fundamentals on some altcoins with a small market cap? If the chart looks okay, I could take a shot and I'll live with the results.
Totally fine.
And that's it. Yeah, it's too much work to do to take a look at fundamentals. Yeah, I'll see on other traders tell me this one has a small number of coins in the market. He's doing the second best thing from the hot water. Okay, but I need to see the chart. This one looks really nice. If I look at the OBV, you can see the OBV is doing higher highs. Look at this one. Someone is buying this one.
Right. And we won't falsely accuse you of being a fundamentalist. So
I'm not, definitely.
And that's, you know, I tell you in the education program, right? There are people that literally will get into fist fights over what is better, fundamental or technical analysis. So
I like
not
fundamental
go
analysis, but it's just too slow for
I
my
think probably
taste.
the most important thing with all of this, from my perspective, is we just have to figure out what works for you as an individual.
T80.6.
As soon as we figure that out and you're in the zone, then you can do magical things like you're doing in the market. And that's fine. If anything, you know, you're at the point where you have enough self-confidence in your skill set that you're like, man, I don't need to know the fundamental story. I just like trading the charts. There's nothing wrong with that. What is wrong is if you don't know what you're doing, to come into the market and start making the argument that one is better than the other. You got to know your shit to be able to even have this conversation. So that's cool.
It's a bit slow for me, for my taste, the fundamental
I would be
analysis.
interested to figure out, though, what Dago does. So anybody over there on YouTube, can you tell me what a Dago is?
Cole definitely knows.
Cole? Is this one of his cum rockets?
Yeah, he posted.
DeFi.
Is it more DeFi? I think
DeFi platform on Ethereum.
Oh, there you go. Tafal says DeFi name. They're lending. We're into that space. That's like the Celsius and all that kind of stuff. Was Celsius lending? Which one was the lending one? Cole says,
Celsius
no
was
clue.
lending.
I just like buy volume and weekly W's. Well said, Cole. Nicely said.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Denizen would like us to look at Forth. Forth.
What do you want me to do here?
Yeah, we're a bit late here, eh?
Yeah, look where I had the trade at this point. Nope.
There you go.
Yeah. So I
Well,
had
if
this long.
anything, I hear
I
you
probably
earlier.
still have something on my books.
Yeah, didn't
Let's
I
see.
hear you earlier say something like you like to have a runner on?
Yeah, I didn't sold everything. I'll definitely have something.
So this would be a really good example of why you'd like to have a bit of a
This one
runner on.
I give it, if I remember correctly, I give it for the whole community on Crypto Traders Arena at the entry,
Hmm.
because you can see where my drawings are.
Hmm.
So we definitely had the, yeah, you can see I draw it here. So
All right. Well, there you go. Merry Christmas. Hope you
uh,
did well on that, Denizen.
at this point, even on weekly chart, yeah, you have the weekly W, but nothing to do at this point. Wait for a retracement.
Looking
Let's
to
just run.
reload on DAG when it comes back down. So DAG, what does DAG look like? Oh, that's a good looking W. It's not bad.
Yeah, on weekly chart looks nice. I just need a retest. You can see 60. If it will go a bit higher, 61.8 will be exactly the level. It'll probably go a bit higher. So 61.8 will be in confluence with the middle of the W. So yeah,
And what do these guys do?
seems like they
Fourth.
partnered with the U.S. Navy. But I know I don't trust the partnerships in crypto space.
They're a crypto that's involved with the U.S. Navy. Wow, that's interesting. Well, what on earth would the U.S. Navy be doing with crypto?
Data
Data
store.
storage. Oh, interesting.
Could be. Why not? But I need
Well,
a good location to hunt, so that's my level. $3.70 at least.
I like the idea. Just for whatever it's worth, if especially if like these senators all come out and say we are going to shit on crypto. Well, names like this that are working with government agencies, especially U.S. military, it's like a sacred cow down in the states. They would be able to weather the storm. So, and actually, this is a good commentary. If somebody, who is it? Specific shout out. There was a student who asked me a question here today, and I think this is right down your alley. So somebody had asked me, should I be chasing these AI names? And I feel like I'm bag holding. And, what I said is, I think probably the smartest thing, and actually one of the big selling features of the little old lady approach is, if you take a 5% risk on your stake, what you got to work with, and by definition, if you're 100% invested, and this goes out to you, Gio, if you're 100% invested, then that means that you have 20 different names on the books. I don't really think it's a good idea to be 100% invested anytime. Always a good idea to leave a little bit of cash on the table or on the sidelines. This is a good example where, probably what you want to do is, okay, I'll take a couple POW names. I'll take a couple DeFi names. Maybe I'll take a couple of these AI names. Sjord's in love with that Rend, RNDR, I think it is. That's a video rendering service. So I like the idea of having a nice diversified basket right across the crypto space. And pick a few sectors, I know Adam, you're a really big fan of that file coin, so is that data storage? Would that be along the same lines as this fourth? Might be in the same sort of sector. I think, this isn't a bad case where at least if you knew what the names were and you're investing, not necessarily just, scalping or day trading. But if you are investing, it's not a bad idea to spread the jelly out amongst different sectors within the crypto space. And there is a pretty wide, in fact, Sharktoshi is he's awesome at disseminating this information, and he had this really cool infographic. I'm sure you could probably find it on the internet pretty easily, of all the different sectors of crypto there are. And for new people, I think it's a good idea just to pick a few names within different sectors, so you're nice and diversified, even within the space. I think that's a good idea. Anyway, that's a shout out to you, Gio. So Dennison says here we probably want to be looking at DAG. Dennison says fourth is not the military coin, so I'm not quite sure what fourth is involved with. But he's saying DAG is the military one. Surprisingly enough, it's trading on KuCoin. What? All right. So what's our take on this thing?
Well, maybe not. I don't see enough consolidation in my view. Could go lower. Let's see. I don't see the volume so nice and clean on this one. Yeah, he's trying to form a weekly W. He's trying, but I don't know. Let's see the weekly W first, and then I don't see the weekly W at this point. And if I want to reach to the bottom of the price action, 44%. No, not my taste. 44%, it's a bit too much for me. I don't have the weekly W at this point. You can see it.
Wow, interesting. What the hell is into the block? You know what that is, Ben? You ever run into that before? Into the block? If you type up DAG on your symbol search there box, holy crap! I've never seen this before, but it's just got everything. Holy moly! All right, maybe. Anyway, you ever heard of that, Ben? Any idea what I'm talking about?
Is it like a data?
I don't know. If Paul, could you do us a favor and type in DAG into your symbol thing, and you see all this into the block? Maybe somebody watching the video knows what it is. I've never seen this before. Look at all that.
Where?
Like if you just scroll down, look at all that into the block. I wonder if this is.
Let me look it up.
Maybe this is some sort of reference to like the military side of this. That's quite remarkable.
It's a data intelligence platform that provides insights into the cryptocurrency markets.
Look at all those things, eh? Look at that. Traders, whales, retail.
Retails.
Wow, what the hell is this? Huh. I've never seen this before. I learn something new every day.
Yeah, retail is buying. Yeah, definitely.
Really kind of like that Glassnode kind of thing, okay? Where you get different metrics on coins.
That's kind of cool. We should probably remember this.
Look at this one.
The
Retail
whales.
is whales. No, not yet.
So now, is this specifically about DAG or is this about crypto?
I guess DAG. I don't know.
Anyway, fascinating.
Even
I'm
if it's
keep my eye on this.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how this thing's not. It's not traded on Binance. Just. God, do you trade it all on KuCoin there? Do either of you?
I don't. Not yet, at least.
Jeez, man.
I'm waiting for the next retracement, and then I'll hunt something.
On KuCoin? Are you gonna open up an account? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not so hard to open an account.
I've never been there before. So.
I'll do it, but when I see the market back on the knees, not now. It's a bit too late.
Anyway, it is interesting how there are all those very interesting data. This symbol tracks. Quite remarkable, all those data points. There's definitely something going on there. Never heard of that thing. So Dennison says DAG is the first layer 0 crypto So it secures data across different blockchains, public and private. Oh, that's kind of cool. So what would be an example, like a peer? Bitcoin? Is that the same thing? Or like Cosmo? Anyway, Dennison, if you could give me like a symbol or something that's a peer similar. Mina USD? No. Mina USDT is similar? Oh, cool. Also a layer 0. Oh, I've never heard of that before. Layer 0, eh? Cool, I learn something new every day, and I have a feeling there's going to be a whole new data set that we're going to have to learn this cycle. Layer 0.
I don't see a weekly W.
Yeah. Hey, it's fantastic. You know, the irony of it all is keep this game as simple as possible and make as much money as you can. Might as well just start. Show me a weekly W, please. Don't overthink this stuff.
No weekly W.
All right. They got also another one. Pond. P-O-N-D.
This one is Pond.
Oh, that's Pond? All right.
Yeah.
And no weekly W there either, eh? Oh,
nope.
Bastards. So I guess the layer 0s are not quite ready to go yet.
They have time.
Sure look cheap, though. Like, here's a good example. If you pull up a daily chart of that Pond, here's a really good example of the longer the channel, the bigger the run. So zoom right out on this thing.
We have a range. Nice one in this area.
Yeah, zoom right out so you can see the channel.
1 second, please. I even saw this high. Yeah.
So if you could hit your circly button there so we can see the whole picture. Yeah. So, you know, at some point this channel will break, and the interesting thing is you should be able to tilt that channel up on its end, and the rally peak will probably be about the length of the channel. So, interestingly enough, if you want this thing to go higher, you probably want that channel to go on and on and on and on.
Yep.
Anyway. Somebody says, okay, so that was Pond. The next one on the hit list is I'm just gonna add this one. Give me a second. Oh, it's already on here. Pond. Well, I guess we've looked at this one before.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one they've asked for here is PNT. PNT is dinner. All right. Not quite sure what that means.
Let's see.
PNT.
And the survey says no weekly W.
Make this really easy for you. Crypto Chico. Oh, is Crypto Chico in it? Oh, EWT, that's Energy Webs. That's different. We'll get to that in a minute. First, we're looking at this PNT.
Yeah, this one, if it's a Chico name, Chico has to give me a weekly W. Otherwise, I'm not interested.
I think EWT was the Chico name.
Yeah, I know.
This is the next person up on it. Look over at, before you leave that screen. You know, take a screenshot of this, folks, and look at the left-hand side of the image. You see that weekly W there? Like, that's the kind of shit that you want to show us. See, you notice that you didn't really have a hell of a lot of time to get in. You had to act when that damn thing broke out, but that's really what you want to see on your screen. Especially with the higher closing levels. I think that's critical.
Yep. Until I see something like that, no.
All right. So next up on the hit list is EWT. Remember, this is Energy Webs. It's looking interesting.
Yeah.
I think,
I don't see a complete weekly W, but at least I don't like the volume. RSI is trying to go above 50 line. Some bullish divergence in MACD and RSI. But seems like same idea, a nice range. Let's see, from $2 to $5. Okay. I don't see a complete weekly W. Not now. At least it's not making lower lows. That's it's a good thing.
Yeah, I always like it when they look like these saucers. So you can kind of see the saucer forming here. Like if anything, it's good. These recent lows are higher than
Yeah,
those previous lows. So that's good
yeah.
to see. But this is probably a good example. Nanny nibbles. Maybe go grab like 1%. Just see what happens.
Yep.
But unfortunately, this is. I mean, it's interesting, the whole energy space. I don't know whether the energy people really want to get too in bed with crypto yet. I just don't see that they're on board yet. But yeah. And have you heard what's his name? Tyler? Have you heard him talking about EWT recently?
I didn't had time to listen to him, but
Yeah, I guess I'm speaking more to this Denizen person who asked us to look at this. If he's still barking about it and he's still bullish, then that's probably worth paying attention to. Greta.
yeah, exactly, Cole. Exactly.
I saw an interview today and it was shocking, and I couldn't believe this. I mean, it's totally off topic, but somebody had Greta cornered, like an interviewer, and he said to them, "Why are you not shitting on Russian oil? And why are you not shitting on the Middle East and all those players? And why are you not shitting on OPEC? These are basically the major oil players for a huge portion of the world." And she literally couldn't answer them. I couldn't
He's
believe
just
it.
an actor, in my opinion.
Yeah, very suspicious. I was really surprised because I think that's a really good point. That why is she not shitting on Russia and Russian oil and natural gas and the whole damn thing? And why is she not shitting on OPEC and Saudi Arabia and all those countries?
And if you do a quick search on Google, you'll see he's the niece of someone, Greta. So
Don't tell me it's Klaus. If it's Klaus, I'll puke.
no Klaus, but close enough. Maybe even bigger. But
So the niece of substitute drama teachers, eh?
yeah. So
Anyway,
it's just an actor.
yeah. So moving on. Sorry, just somebody said Greta, and that triggered me.
Yeah, Cole was.
BNT. What's going on? Tafal wants us to look at BNT.
Okay, Kala.
BNT. And actually, we're getting a pretty diverse look at the market here today. So this is kind of
Bangkok.
cool.
Okay, this one looks cheap.
Hey,
Definitely
there
cheap.
you go. Is that Bantam? Is that the name of this one? I think I remember this one from last cycle.
Bantor or something. Let me check again.
Something like that.
BNP.
Doesn't have a name, eh?
Well, it actually has. Anyway.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it. We'll go over here. Let's see. Crypto Gecko. Isn't that a popular one they do? I don't want to...
Bangkor, yeah.
BNT is Bangkor. Oh, okay. I thought I remember Bantam. Bangkor.
I don't see that weekly W yet.
Only 159 million out. That's not so bad.
No, not at all. But if you'll give me this level, maybe I'll buy some.
Yeah. There's probably even some gaps down there. So actually, I don't see any.
Probably. Yeah, it is one. Look at this one. If
Oh wow! Yeah,
close enough.
Looks like they just put a gap in there. Oh, yep, there's one. Oh, yeah.
And maybe even lower. Lower, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, look at that right down the bottom.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
So.
Candle body lows for trade location. Go throw your stink bid in down there. What is that? It's about 15.25 cents. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. They're coming in fast and furious now. We've got
Okay, Zen.
You like Zen, eh? You want to look at that one?
No,
Sean Kaji asked us to look at one, but we'll look at Zen first. Zen's expensive though, isn't it? Oh no, well, $10. Well, as
Zen.
crypto goes.
No, it's the right place now.
Yeah, that one looks
Trying to
good.
put the trying to.
Okay.
You can see the small W. It's too small, 4 candles. But if we'll go back in this area, you can see the retest.
Probably also too, like look left. If you draw a horizontal line off the original W bottom there, I think that's where this thing
This could.
bottomed. Yeah. Well,
It's a
we're
bit
all
lower, but it's a good level to put your limit order.
Yeah, if you did it right off of that wick, I think that is those lows. And actually,
Probably,
also
yeah.
notice too the low from I don't know
This
what
one.
date that is. Yeah, notice that low there, eh?
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
probably what they're playing with right now. But
Yeah.
that candle body level, like Paul suggested, Grim, our level 1 instructor, he loves sort of putting the order in. You see that little doji candle before the thing took off there? Yeah, he would love to put his order right in those tails in there.
And you can see now it's up and down.
Yeah, and
Why
if you
not?
had like a
It's
massive,
40% lower, not too much. So you can put a limit order at $6.
you could probably also draw a trend line off of that peak from July, August of last year against that high in October, and probably want the W to come in on the other side of that trend line.
Yeah.
There, down to there. Yeah. So
Give me
can
a
we get
double
a
at the other.
W on the other side of this trend line? That would probably be healthy.
Yep.
You're definitely thinking in the right direction. Over the next 6-8 months, this thing probably does bottom.
Let's see. Decreed.
Yeah. Don't forget Sean though. Sean was asking us to look at RVN.
Okay.
And actually,
Raven coin.
I don't know, RVN. Sure, I guess
Yep.
so. Well, that's not bad.
Yeah. Nice location. Nice location. Maybe more consolidation, but yeah.
Can you all
Wait.
see now why this time last year I got so angry at the public for buying this stuff? You people over on YouTube? Right? And how stupid it is to come in and buy the tops of these damn cycles. I mean, the irony of it all is now, and I mean, look at it. We got 20 people. Most of you guys are all regulars, and I think you're all crypto enthusiasts. And you're asking the right questions. You're looking at the right names, and you're looking at the market when you're supposed to be looking at it. And the irony of it all, when this old stuff all pumps right back up top, you could even make the argument at the end of 2021, that was insane face rip moves higher. Some of these AI names are looking a little bit like that. So do we really want to go and chase those? Like FET? Like if you pull up that FET, is it? I don't think it's gone up that far, but
FIE.
what was that FET? I mean, that was one of the ones that just went crazy here. Oh, there it is. So you can't come in and chase that kind of stuff up there. So I'd rather you be looking at the RVNs of the world now.
This one had a nice W on the other side of the trend line, and then
boom.
Okay, this one you had a clear W completely the other side of the trend line. So and bullish divergence, nice OBV, probably some W's in this area. You can see it. Really off from oversold zone. So had all the reasons.
Yeah. All right, well, that is past 8 o'clock, so I think we gave these people a good, solid offering this evening. Ben, anything you would want to throw into this equation here?
No. So
right.
we're going to go out and start working some more bids.
Geez, you got the corn off 500 bananas now. So
let's see. Where is Bitcoin?
Oh, there you go. So
I missed the trade.
I get the distinct impression the Head and Shoulders top has now fired.
I
which
guess so.
which is good because this is basically what you want to see. Like if you go to a well, maybe go to like a 4-hour chart, I think you
Yeah.
can see the ABCD pattern. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
will get us in this area.
Yeah. So let's see. The target I specifically have for this ABCD is I'm looking at stamp.
21,800. I think.
Yeah, and what's interesting is if you pull up your 4-hour chart, the of course I look at crazy ass numbers, so maybe this is different. Let's
Maybe
see
a
the
bank
4
of
hour.
check of this level could be a nice.
There you go. Yeah, this lines up really well. So if you, I don't know whether you have the moving averages on there, right? So on your 4-hour chart, the 200 SMA lines up almost perfectly with that ABCD objective.
Moving average, simple one.
Yeah, 200 period.
200.
So if anything, this is good. Although we don't want this to get out of control, because the U.S. politicians are just gonna shit on us if it starts crashing here. But
It's not crashing, just a bank of check, a healthy one at this point.
Yeah, I don't know whether I would call that a Benkoff check, but okay. I don't know, Ben. Would you call that a Benkoff check? So it's
To
Ben.
touch this level.
Yeah, I mean the problem is if you go to like a daily chart, it's
Yeah,
kind of
probably
just a
more that
blip on the road.
W breakout would be the.
Yeah, it's quite a bit lower. Like I would
And
say
that-
your Ben
that
your
would
Y
still be
cost
healthy.
check-
This one in the long reload zone. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
that'd be
it's
really
that
healthy.
high there from middle of December. That's where.
But let's see what happens at this level. And
Yeah, well, I agree with you. You know, like as I said, if you draw out the ABCDs, 200 period SMA on that 4-hour is a tag of that high. Now, if this is a Head and Shoulders, then the Head and Shoulders is almost a perfect tag of the 38.2. So anyway, I was really curious as to which way this thing was going to break, and it looks like we're getting a verdict now.
for me, I need a close below this range. Could be a fake out like to the upside. So a lot of
And
liquidity
that's
in
the
these
thing,
weeks.
that last big red candle, that's not enough for you to call a breakdown.
No.
Eh?
No, I don't have it. Not even on 1 hour a close. So no, definitely not. It's just hunting the stop losses from these weeks. A lot of late people, retail, they long in this last move up.
Yeah, it's fascinating. If I look, you're on Bitcoin versus Tether on Binance.
Yep.
So if I go to something like Stamp, the market is totally through all those levels.
Not yet. Look at this one. I still have some weeks.
Tails, you mean? I think.
Yeah, tails. Yeah.
Right.
So let's see if the market will go and take some liquidity and then quick reverses back in the range. Then it's just a fake out for me.
Okay. Well, you know, this is what makes a horse race. If anything, David O, he really likes his Head and Shoulders to be completely, what's the word? The neckline horizontal. What's that word? Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if we did pivot off of these lows, and I guess you're talking about the lows from, what is that? January 22nd?
Yeah, 22,
January 24th, those lows.
Yep.
So if we go off of those lows, then we're like you said, we're going after. I guess we're going after the stops right now.
Yeah, if we'll take the stops, and then quick reverses could be a nice SFU, my kind of SFU setup at this level.
Yeah. Well, only time will tell. It does look like she is breaking though, but we'll see. Okay.
I don't have not a 1 hour candle body close below the range, so.
All right. So, being at 10 minutes past the hour, why don't we wind things up here?
Yep.
I guess grand predictions for the coming week. Actually, this would be an interesting one because next Wednesday we'll actually have the Tuesday. I think is the big congressional thing, eh?
Yeah.
So next Wednesday will be the 15th, almost I guess halfway through the month. Ben is just on an absolute hot streak here. So what do you think, Ben? Actually, here, why don't we put this spreadsheet? I'll hijack the screen now. Paul is presenting. Let's go your screen. All right, I think you now see the spreadsheet. So, Mr. What are we going to call you? Remember, what was Johnny Carson's, remember when he had the, he was the great Del Moody? No, that's somebody else. What was that guy's
We already
name?
got one of those.
Anyway, the predictions, I can't remember anyway. That's a million years ago. All right, Ben, you are the man. You are on the seat, so tell us, what the hell's going to happen next week?
Pressure's on now.
Whoa,
I'm gonna go -2.
-2. Oh, boy. Oh, Jesus. Everybody be careful. Ben's on a hot streak here, so I wouldn't discount what he's saying. That's bold, though, so a big -2, eh? All right. And Paul, what do you think? And I'm shocked how Paul actually turned negative here. And he was basically on cue here. So are you still feeling negative or are you up?
Yeah, -1 this time.
Still -1. Wow.
Yep.
Interesting how you guys turned total 180 here on these guys, on this market. At least Paul. I mean, Paul was just consistently, I'm a bull. So that quite shocks me. So and the Beamish, I don't know what the hell the Beamish is going to say. I am negative, especially now that Head and Shoulders fired. And the issue is, does the market bottom and then jackknife right back up to where we are by the time we get to next Wednesday? There you can see Paul's counter trend rally is already starting. So there you go. But by next Wednesday, which is there's the Senate hearing. Where are we next week? Geez, that's a tough one. I think I'm gonna have to go negative. Question is, I just don't know whether -2 is. I'd almost want to go. You know what I'm gonna do, just to be a pain in the ass? I'm gonna go -1.5. I don't even think that even has a color. But I'm kind of waffling. Actually, interesting. We had that as yellow. Oh, that was +1.5. What the hell are we gonna do as I'll do like maybe pink or something. Maybe that's a good color for me. Anyway, I'm gonna sneak in between the two. So we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. And of course, it's all for fun anyway.
Yep.
Okay, so I suppose, Paul, you're going to go off and study charts now, and you're trading up the UK stock market. Pretty impressive stuff.
It's a bit too early for that, but yeah, I'll take a look.
All right. Closing thoughts, I suppose. I know Paul's a man of few words, so you want to summarize what you're thinking about the market right now in a few words?
Just be patient and wait for at least for a location. If you have a good location, yeah, you can make some mistakes, but wait for a good location on altcoins. I know a lot of people, they want to buy at this level. Just don't do it. Just wait. If you want to do something, you want to buy to feel the rush, just put a reload zone and hunt at 61.8. The best you can do.
Good old mountain man.
I prefer lower than mountain man, but at least don't chase.
Don't chase.
Don't chase.
That's if anything, that's probably the best advice we could possibly give people in this world.
Yep.
Retail sure knows how to chase, don't they? All right. Well, thank you very much for that contribution, sir. Ben, closing thoughts from the great state of Florida.
Be thinking of you and Liam tomorrow.
Ah, you sweetheart.
Yep, great day.
You're awesome.
Everyone who's listening on YouTube, send Brian and Liam some love.
I tell you, I mean, call me crazy when you guys, when I put the appeal out there and you guys all go, good luck, good luck. It's surprising what a good spirits he's in. So it does work.
I bet.
So thank you. I appreciate that, sir.
Yeah, and yeah, I'll just repeat Paul, don't chase.
Don't chase.
But also, if your plan says to put in a bid at certain levels, get them working. And who knows, you could get something into that dumping event, and it could pop out the other side with a little a double or something coming
Well,
into
the
the
good part
summer.
about this crazy market is, you could put $100 into a name, and this is venture capital. It goes up 10x. Boom! All of a sudden, now you got $1,000 portfolio, and you're like, "What the hell? How did that happen?" So this one's a pretty good example. You could have snuck in there at about 10 cents, and well, actually, that's 5x. But so you'd be surprised how quickly money can grow here in venture cap. The key here is we're finally in a market where you should be able to make some pretty good money. So I like your thinking, sir. Wise words. All right, I think we'll probably leave it at that, folks. Hope you enjoyed the offering. PMA for the win. I was a bit sloppy here tonight. Sorry for starting late, but Paul and Ben, of course, were all stars as always, and definitely made up for any of my shortcomings here this evening. So thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate it. All the best. I suppose if you want to learn how to build your plan, to set yourself up to participate, you kind of missed our recent intake, of course, beginning of January. But we do have a new school term starting in May, and by all means, no time like the present. Get yourself all ready for this coming bull. And keep in mind, actually, there's an article that I'm working on, and I think we're going to put it on the website. And it's about a 4 or 5 page article. And really, the message that I want the public to understand here is that this bull that we're just starting to form now should go on into December 2025. So, do you want to get rich? It's up to you. And I've literally been through, this will be my 3rd cycle. And just like you're seeing in the AI coins, and the very beginning of this cycle, there was that Arch coin, Mobies, all that kind of fun stuff. So I don't see anything different here. There will be fortunes made. This is a cool article that we're working on as sort of a whole site together. Try and explain the fundamentals, like why does Bitcoin exist and what role is Bitcoin trying to play here in cryptocurrencies, and then also try and give you an idea of the effects of what these money printer diluters are doing to us, how this sort of fits into their model. Because keep in mind, the banksters have been running basically this whole world economy now for over 100 years. They definitely are driving the bus, and if anything, I think Bitcoin was created by them as a way to for them to hedge themselves. What coming decades should look like, especially over the next 3 or 4 years. Why would Bitcoin rally in the face of this, considering the inflationary pressures that we have? What roadmaps should look like over the next few years? Then digging into things like what does the business cycle look like, understanding the cost of money, how the money cycle works, and then how does venture capital, i.e. crypto, fit into this. Would be sort of your mom and pop kind of business cycle. And here's the crazy ass crypto cycle. So we're working away on this document as well as ideas for little old lady portfolios. Remember I talked to you earlier about diversifying within the crypto space and spreading the jelly out. I think that's an excellent concept. And then, of course, what would your tactical plan be? Are you a buy and holder, or do you want to do the multi-car approach? The Brian and his banging out doubles and reloading. How you manage risk. Do you want to actually just take your coins right off of the exchange? All that kind of fun stuff. How would you do that? And then, of course, we have resources that we're going to put in place. We're calling it the Little Old Lady Canasta Club, which I thought is a great name for the club. So be sure to look out for this. This should be a free document that we're publishing. And as you can see, I have site members right now working with me. I've actually made an open out call to the site if people want to participate in helping make this as best of a document as possible. Like I said, we're going to give this away for free. So there really is no charge to this. But I definitely think the message I'm trying to convey to you is I believe that we are basically entering in a 35 month life-changing event cycle here. Are you ready for it? Do you want to change your life? Do you want to set yourself up that, don't have to work for the man, don't have to live a life of debt, live a life of credit card debt, live a life of mortgage debt? I have no debt at all in my life. I have big fat bank accounts with 6, even 7 figures, some accounts. I don't have to worry. The only thing I worry about is substitute drama teachers going to come and try and steal it all from me. Do you want to have that kind of life? I'm sure quite a few of you that are watching this right now, you are living this life. But if you're not and you want to, well, opportunity is now here. There's no wrong way to read this line. But most people that read this will read opportunity is nowhere. But I believe opportunity is now here. So the ball's in your court, people. All right. Thank you very much, Ben. Thank you very much, Paul. You guys are all stars as always. Thank you very much for the participation on the YouTube page. Big 20 people watching. Woohoo! Hopefully we can get this message out. Maybe tell a friend. You know what? This Beamish guy thinks it's time for you to get your act together. Especially all those people that always ask you about, is Bitcoin a good buy when it's like at the end of a 4-year run and the damn thing's like 60 G's. And it's like, come on. Now's the time to get your act together. All right, have yourselves a great day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Consider popping on, joining the site. Of course, we do videos on a daily basis. We have special guests on the site. We had our harmonic specialist, Stephen, on the site today, talking about harmonic objectives, and actually he's quite bullish of the Dow going forward through this cycle as well, which would make sense because that's another risk asset just like crypto is. So. All right. Did I mention that our weekly commodity trend survey is spitting up a lot of 6s right now? All right. Have yourselves a great day. All the best. PMA for the win. And the only thing left for everybody to say is bye for now.